Hello everyone, today we are going to talk a very important topic in chemistry which has too many doubts and confusion, and as you proceed through the lecture you will clear all these doubts. So my topic for today is moles. So first and foremost question that comes is, what are moles? Now mole is just a defining quantity. When I say a defining quantity, it means that you can use this quantity to count the numbers. Now, have you heard of 1 mole of fruits, 1 mole of apple? No. So basically, moles is used as a defining quantity for atoms. Okay. So mole is a defining quantity for atoms or molecules. Now, what exactly is this defining quantity? So let's say you go to a market and you ask for a dozen banana. Now, because you have already calculated how many bananas come in a dozen, you know that the answer is 12. Okay. So now the defining quantity is dozen. The defining quantity is dozen, and how many bananas are there in that dozen? The answer is 12. So similarly, mole is a defining quantity. Now, how many atoms are there in this quantity? We will have to calculate those. So there are many scientists who have calculated this, and they have come to this number, that there are 602 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 and so on till 21. So there are 602 hexillion atoms. So there are 602 hexillion atoms in a mole. Understood the difference? There are 12 bananas in a dozen, but there are 602 hexillion atoms in a mole. So when I say how many moles of oxygen atom will be there? So how many moles of oxygen atom will be there in 602 hexillion atoms of oxygen? The answer is 1 mole. Means that if I say I got a pack of donuts, right? So now how many donuts are there in that pack? Basically you have to count that. It can be 5, it can be 12, it can be 15. So you have to count that. So similarly, in 1 mole of oxygen or in 1 pack of oxygen, there are 602 hexillion oxygen atoms. Am I clear? Now, using this number is quite complicated every time. See, even I am not writing till 21, okay? So what do? We use an abbreviation. Why 10 to the power 23? Because there were 21 zeros and you took the decimals before 2 places. So now 21 plus 2 is 23. So 6.02, 10 to the power 23 is what has in 1 mole. So now let me rephrase my question. How many atoms are there in 1 mole of oxygen? The answer is 6.02, 10 to the power 23 atoms of oxygen. Am I clear? So now this special number, this easy abbreviation is known as Avogadro's number. So this is known as Avogadro's number, and this helps us to write quickly how many atoms are there in 1 mole. So we are done with what are moles. The basic confusion. What is the basic confusion? You tend to confuse between moles and atoms. Mole is a defining quantity, whereas atoms are the things. Okay. So a mole has a specific number of things. A mole has 6.02, 10 to the power 23 things. Understood? Avogadro's number? Yes. Now, what about moles occupying space? So, you might be aware that different atoms have different sizes. Hydrogen has a smaller size compared to sulfur 1 mole of hydrogen can occupy a plate. Okay, if I say I have a plate and I can count, so let's say 1 mole of hydrogen can fit in one plate, but 1 mole of sulfur cannot fit in that same plate simply because sulfur has a bigger size. So 602 hexillion sulfur atoms are going to fill the whole container. Okay, so mole is a quantity, but the space occupied depends on the atomic size. So as you go higher down the group, the size of the atom increases, and so the space occupied by the atom is also going to increase. So I can say 1 mole of hydrogen can fit in one glass, but 1 mole of sulfur will require a big jug. Understood the difference? Now, let's come to a very important topic, difference between moles and atomic mass. Okay, let's come to my previous example, a dozen bananas. So I know a dozen banana means 12 bananas. I have actually counted it. Okay, so 12 bananas makes a dozen. But is it similar as the weight of the banana? No, the weight can be different. You have to check the weight of the banana. You cannot predict that okay, 12 bananas will always have this weight. No, you have to actually check the weight. So the weight is what we are referring to as atomic mass. So the atomic mass of hydrogen will be different. Okay, the weight of hydrogen will be different, and the moles are 602 hexillion atoms. So now, how to calculate moles? We'll see later on. First, let me give you a quick example. Okay, so when I say 1 mole of oxygen is equal to 16 grams of oxygen. Okay, let me write this. 1 mole of oxygen is equal to 16 grams of oxygen atoms. Now, how many moles will be 32 grams? So here you can use your logic. If 1 is equal to 16, so 32 would be how many? So 32 would be how many? 2. This is basic maths. The same method we are going to use to calculate moles. So how do you calculate moles? Moles is equal to whatever mass is given divided by the atomic mass. Let's take a previous example, 16 grams of oxygen and 32 grams of oxygen. So my mass given is 32, and looking at the periodic table, if you know the periodic table, there are elements, then you have the atomic mass. Okay, so the atomic mass of oxygen is 16. So 32 divided by 16 is equal to 2. So my answer is 2 moles. So this is the simplest way how you can calculate moles. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below, or if there is any particular topic which you find difficult, then also mention the topic. I will try to make a video on it the next time. See you, and if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.